Only one movie.
I think there's only one right now. I think
Obviously,
I think they're working on the second one.
I gotta say, remember the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Yes.
What happened to the rest of the movies in English?
Don't know.
That really bothered me. I watched the first movie, fell in love, read the rest of the books, was all ready, and it's been 3 years and no talk.
Probably people want too much money.
Done.
Probably too much money. My husband actually went and saw it in whatever language it was written or was performed.
It's on
in.
our Netflix. I tried.
He usually doesn't go for that, but he really was interested in that one. Mm-hmm. So, and
I love the girl in the U.S. version.
Yeah, she's an interesting girl.
She did an amazing job. And then I've seen her in other movies and didn't recognize her at first. I'd be like, she looks familiar. And Steve would be like, Elizabeth Slander or whatever her name is. I'm like, oh, yeah, cray.
Exactly.
So that's our women crush of the week. Mm-hmm. Did you want to share Carol Burnett's quotes? I totally cut you off. I'm sorry.
You're fine. No, the one that stuck with me since I was a young woman was giving birth is like taking your lower lip and forcing it over your head. That's been my longtime favorite of hers.
Birth control.
Yep. And my new favorite, because I have a son in college, is that we don't stop going to school when we graduate.
We don't. That's what I said. I love this podcast because I'm constantly learning about other things outside of myself. And I feel like we get stuck in this rut that we stop doing that. Okay, so now, who are you, Min Min?
I'm an old person.
You're not an old person. I read your notes and I was like, I'm not going to edit this. This is from her heart. But she's not old. Do you remember I had to ask how old you were? Mm-hmm. Because I probably, you're a peer of mine because we work together. Mm-hmm. That's one thing of who you are. But I don't, and I know you have a son in college. If he wasn't around, I would not have a clue at all.
Well, I try to hide it well.
And you're very, up to date. But, okay, tell us who you are. Sorry.
I'm originally from Oklahoma, Stillwater.
Now, the big thing about Stillwater is...
Oklahoma State University.
And the T-shirts.
Oh, Eskimo Joe's
yes,
T-shirt.
I grew up seeing those, every fall when school would come back. Mm-hmm. You would see those kids that went to Stillwater and they'd have the T-shirts. Yep. I never had one.
Yeah, my first one was a sweatshirt, and I was 17 or 18. My girlfriend went into it. It was still a bar, and she went in. She's younger than me. Went in and got it.
And what is this place?
It was originally a bar, and now it's a family bar and family restaurant. Uh-huh. And it has one of the most. At one time, it was like the 4th or 5th most collectible shirt.
Yeah.
Ever. Even I think it. I don't remember if it outranked Hard Rock Cafe, but it was up there with the Hard Rock Cafe.
So you hear of Stillwater, Oklahoma, and that's what I think of. Mm-hmm. But you said there's a college there? Mm-hmm. Which one?
Oklahoma State
University. Okay, and there's OU and OSU.
Right.
And that's OSU.
This is OSU.
Okay.
And
look at me knowing stuff.
And the mascot is Pistol Pete, who is a real person who is from a small town near Oklahoma, or near Stillwater. And he is copyrighted. However, before he was copyrighted, Ohio State, Wyoming Cowboys also use the same caricature and all. And I think there's a couple of other places. So
there's a lot of famous people from Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Blake Shelton's from Oklahoma.
Yep. Garth Brooks is from Oklahoma, and he also went to college at Oklahoma State. My husband helped set up his system at a bar that my husband was working at 17.
Oh, my gosh.
He didn't get to meet him, but he was there.
Oh, setting up the PA.
Yep. There used to be a house before he and Sandy split that said Garth and Sandy lived here when they were in college. No. Brad Pitt. Did you say Brad Pitt? Brad Pitt's from Oklahoma, too. No. I think he's from Shawnee, I saw.
But he moved to Missouri at a very young age.
Yes.
And grew up in Springfield, Missouri. I'll fight you over this.
That's fine.
Because I tell
John Denver, he is originally from Lawton, Oklahoma, but I think he claims Texas as his home state.
Yeah. And I think the reason Brad Pitt claims Missouri is that's where his parents and brother still live.
Correct.
Yeah, so... Well, but yes, I've read several different versions of Brad Pitt's biography, and so I did know that.
Mm-hmm. I saw it on IMDb the other night. I was like going, oh, I didn't realize that.
Carrie Underwood's from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Oh, where's the pink pistol? Look at me. I'm going to educate you.
Don't know. I know where the giant yellow man is.
The pink pistol is owned by Miranda Lambert, and it's in Tishomingo, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Don't know.
Okay.
But it's one of those towns.
Yeah. So.
Probably. It's either closer to Oklahoma City or closer to Tulsa.
One of my Facebook friends that I haven't got to meet in real life, and when I finally do get to meet her in real life, then we'll be friends. Kim Eden. She went to the Pink Pistol shortly after it opened, bought me a scarf just so I could say I had something from Miranda Lambert's store.
That's funny.
I'm such a dork.
No, you're not.
Okay, what else? I keep interrupting.
No, you're fine. What else do you want to know about Oklahoma?
You have a son in college.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going back to college.
Yeah, I thought, it was bad enough that I had to start, elementary school over and then middle school over and then high school over. But it's also now painful going back to college. And if he listens to this, he's going to be mad at me for saying that.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay, Tay-Tay. Can I call him that?
I always did. Whether he still likes that,
I
did?
That's awesome.
I don't know that he remembers, but...
What are some other interesting things about you? Because you wrote it on here, and I was like, what? So explain this.
Okay, I'm old enough to remember Neil Armstrong walking on the moon the first time.
You remember that?
Yeah, my family, my grandparents...
And
my grandparents, just so you understand, my grandfather and my grandmother, my grandfather was born in 1900, my grandmother was born in 1903. It was their second marriage. They adopted my mother in 47. So they had a TV, had a color TV, and my mother was a young parent and divorced by the time I was 1 year old. Mm-hmm. And so they made a big deal about it. They made a big deal about technology. And they even took, there somewhere is a picture of the TV and Mom marked, here's Neil, here's the flag.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's vague, it couldn't be mostly.
You were like young, right?
I was like, 2.5?
Yeah.
A little over 2.5.
The fact that you remember that is amazing.
I also watched Gilligan's Island. I remember watching it in what's the bouncy seat that rolls around?
You remember that?
Uh-huh. I was a freak.
Everyone listening, Mindy is not a freak. She is a very intelligent woman. Very smart. My earliest memory like that was watching the Challenger go boom.
I remember that too.
I was 6.
I won't tell you how old I was, but
yeah,
I remember it because my grandfather was watching it. And he's like, come in here and look at this. This is amazing. This is not amazing, but amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I was sitting and no one else was in my living room. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really realize what I was seeing. Mm-hmm. At the time, I was like, oh, wow, mm-hmm. fireworks, something like mm-hmm. that. Mm-hmm. And then it became a big deal. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I saw that happen.
Yeah, like 9/11. Taylor was 4, 5, somewhere in there.
What? Stop.
Well,
Don't talk like that.
But
that makes me feel old.
No. But that's how old he was when that happened. And we thought we had sheltered him from seeing all that on TV because we didn't really want him to see it. But we didn't realize until he was coloring while we were having dinner one time out at a restaurant. And he drew the towers and
oh my gosh,
and the planes because he saw the image over and over again. But when we went, we actually, when he graduated from 8th grade, we actually went to New York with his drama class and saw a whole bunch of plays. It was wonderful. But we went to the memorial and we walked through it, and he's like going, I know you said that I watched this on TV and stuff.
It wasn't that traumatic to him.
It wasn't traumatic. He doesn't remember it, but we remember him drawing it. So we tried to keep sheltering him from it because we were like going, this has been too much stuff on TV about it.
Oh gosh,
for his age.
Oh, definitely.
So,
wow.
What else do you want to know about me?
What about Barbies?
I had Barbie dolls.
Good.
They were my mother's, and then I had a few. But I had also one of the original G.I. Joe, bendable, opposable G.I. Joes that could move his arms.
Did G.I. Joe date Barbie when you played with them?
Sometimes, but it was mostly $6 Million Man. I had $6 Million Man too.
Do you still have that? I think it might be worth money.
Unfortunately, no. I think my grandmother got rid of them.
Oh,
because she wasn't into keeping nostalgia.
I like these facts that you shared. Your first R-rated movie. I don't remember my first R-rated movie.
This could be the second one, but this is the first one that I went to without my mother. Was Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember. And it was Thunderbolt, but I couldn't remember it. And it was the first time I ever saw boobies on the big screen.
Oh, that would be intense.
And
I remember, yeah.
And it had Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges in it. But I remember, that was really intense because Mom didn't know where I was at. And really didn't know I was at the movies with the babysitter. And, yeah.
Wow.
But all my life, my mother was an artist, so I saw art, the Venuses and all that artwork.
The human form.
The human form, male and female.
Wow.
So I knew what it looked like. It just had never seen it on that. Then Mother, Jugs, and Speed. And then some other movie that I can't remember what it was called. My
first risky movies, Dirty Dancing and Pretty Woman. I
really
remember
old.
watching those and going, I should not be watching this.
I'm feeling very old right this second.
You just made me feel old with Taylor being 4 at 9/11. I was in college.
I don't remember exactly how old he was. That would be 4 or 5, somewhere in there. Yeah.
And I think this is a sweet fact about you. You just mentioned that your mother was divorced by the time you were 1. Well, you did not follow that trend at all. You have been with your husband since high school.
Well, his high school. He's a year younger. Year and a half younger.
I didn't know this.
He graduated a year behind me in 86.
So you were the older woman.
I was the college woman. I was in college.
Oh.
So, yes, I was the college woman, and we started dating in about the middle of his senior year. But we knew I'd known him for a while.
So how long have you been together? If you don't want to share, I just realized
that would be 86.
Wow.
So, and we married in 82.
Aww.
So,
wait, no.
Or 92, excuse me.
I was like, that doesn't make sense, Min.
I'm not good with numbers, so why I keep pulling numbers for our company, I don't know. Some days it gets confusing.
92. So you were together 6 years before you got married.
Yep.
Steve's like, yes! All right. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
I know it's not all roses and wonderful, but you've put in the time and done the hard work.
I put up with football.
Yes, you do.
I'm glad he doesn't like basketball.
And you probably, if you hadn't been listening, you thought this next question was a little bit weird. But I had some deodorant issues at the beginning of the summer when it started to warm up. So I started asking my girlfriends on my podcast what kind of deodorant they used because I was trying to find a new one. So, what deodorant do you wear?
I use Sure.
Sure.
It's been around since like 73 when I was 6.
Wow.
And
it still works.
It still works.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See,
they've changed the formula every once in a while, then they always go back to it. But they go back to it. So
it keeps your body guessing either way, right?
So, yep.
And what music is on repeat in your life currently?
I like a lot of different stuff, really. I do. And I currently don't have these guys. I want to put them on there, but Cole's Whalen. She's a local artist here in Denver.
Okay.
And her cohort, Kim O'Hara, I actually know them. I've met them. And they're great. They're a great local band.
I'm sorry.
What?
Go ahead. Daryl what?
Daryl steals all my music from them. So I have to work on that.
It's all about that bass. About that bass.
And
not the treble.
Yes. And I like her.
That's awesome. I was like, I'm looking at your notes and I'm like,
Megan.
Who? Megan what? I didn't even know her name. Yep. I know that song because you can't turn on radio outside of any top 40.
It's very popular right now. It's very, very...
It gets stuck in your head.
It does. I wake up dreaming about it.
Have
you seen the video of it?
No.
You need to. You need to go out to YouTube.
I will, and I'll share it on our Facebook page.
And then, is it Sia? I don't know if that's correct pronunciation. Chandelier. She writes music for lots of people, like Rihanna. And I can't remember everybody else she writes for. My husband could, if he was here, he could tell you all about it.
I didn't know you were into the top 40 stuff.
I do.
If you would have asked me yesterday what kind of music you were into, I would have been like...
I like some hip-hop even. It just depends. I like all music. I was in one of the other...
You appreciate...
I was in orchestra since 5th grade and through first year in college, so I appreciate all music. Except for rap, I'm not big into that. Except for Blondie.
Eminem?
No, Blondie.
Oh.
She's like one of the first the gal that... Deborah Harry was one of the first people to rap on pop.
You have Pitbull. I like him.
He's good.
His voice is very unique, and I love it. He's actually done a collaboration